Imagine a place where the world feels distant, where the air is crisp and clean, and where every breath you take brings with it a sense of calm and contentment. A place where a secluded cabin sits nestled beside a serene lake, surrounded by towering pines and the soft whispers of nature. Join me as we journey to this tranquil retreat, where the beauty of the environment and the warmth of human connection create a sanctuary of love, kindness, and happiness. In the heart of a vast, untouched wilderness, where the mountains kissed the sky and the forest stretched as far as the eye could see, there lay a hidden gem, a serene lake, its waters as clear as glass, reflecting the beauty of the world around it. The lake was a place of tranquility, where time seemed to slow, and the hustle of the world beyond faded into a distant memory. On the shore of this pristine lake stood a small, rustic cabin, its weathered wood blending seamlessly with the natural landscape, as though it had always been there, a part of the wilderness itself. The cabin belonged to a couple, Eli and Maren, who had built it with their own hands many years ago. They had fallen in love with the lake and the surrounding forest during a hiking trip in their youth, and they knew instantly that this was where they wanted to create their sanctuary, far from the noise and chaos of the city. Together, they had crafted the cabin from the very trees that surrounded the lake, each log carefully chosen and placed with love and care. The cabin was simple, yet beautiful, with large windows that offered breathtaking views of the lake and mountains beyond, and a stone hearth that provided warmth on chilly nights. The lake cabin had become a haven not only for Eli and Maren, but for their friends and family as well. Over the years, it had seen countless gatherings where laughter filled the air and the warmth of love and friendship radiated through its wooden walls. But it was in the quiet moments, when the lake was still and the forest whispered softly in the breeze, that Eli and Maren felt the true magic of their retreat. One golden autumn afternoon, as the leaves of the trees blazed in vibrant shades of red, orange, and gold, Eli and Maren arrived at their beloved cabin for a weekend retreat. The air was crisp and cool, and the scent of pine and earth filled their lungs as they stepped out of their car and onto the familiar path that led to the cabin. The lake lay before them, its surface smooth as glass, reflecting the fiery colors of the trees and the clear blue sky above. Maren smiled as she took in the scene, her heart swelling with happiness. "It's even more beautiful than I remembered," she said, slipping her hand into Eli's. Eli squeezed her hand gently, his eyes crinkling at the corners as he returned her smile. "It always feels like coming home," he replied, his voice soft with affection. They spent the first few hours unpacking and settling into the cabin, opening the windows to let in the fresh, cool air. Maren placed a vase of wildflowers on the kitchen table, their bright colors adding a cheerful touch to the rustic space. Eli set about lighting a fire in the hearth, the crackling flames bringing warmth and comfort to the cabin. As the afternoon sun began to dip lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the lake, Eli and Maren decided to take a walk along the shoreline. The forest was alive with the sounds of nature, the rustling of leaves in the breeze, the distant call of a loon echoing across the water, and the gentle lapping of the lake against the shore. They walked hand in hand, their footsteps quiet on the soft earth, taking in the beauty of the world around them. As they walked, Maren noticed a family of ducks swimming near the shore, the mother leading her ducklings in a graceful line across the water. She watched them with a smile, her heart warming at the sight of the small creatures moving so peacefully through the water. "It's amazing how something so simple can bring so much joy," she said, her voice filled with wonder. Eli nodded in agreement. "There's a purity to it," he said. "It reminds me of why we built this place, to find happiness in the simple things, in nature, in each other." They continued their walk until they reached a small, secluded cove at the far end of the lake. Here the trees grew close to the water's edge, their branches forming a natural canopy that cast dappled shadows on the ground. In the center of the cove was a large, flat rock that jutted out into the water, creating the perfect spot to sit and watch the sunset. Eli and Maren climbed onto the rock and sat down, their legs dangling over the edge, their eyes fixed on the horizon. As the sun began to set, the sky exploded in a riot of colors, fiery reds, deep oranges, and soft pinks that reflected off the surface of the lake, turning it into a mirror of the sky. The sight was breathtaking, and for a moment, Neither Eli nor Maren spoke, content to simply sit in silence and take in the beauty before them. Finally, Maren broke the silence, her voice soft and filled with emotion. I'm so grateful for this place, for everything it's given us. It's more than just a cabin, it's our refuge, our sanctuary. Eli turned to her, his eyes shining with love. It's where we've built our life, where we've shared our happiest moments. And every time we come here, it reminds me of how lucky I am to have you by my side. Maren smiled, her heart full of love for the man sitting beside her. I feel the same way, she said, leaning in to rest her head on his shoulder. This place has a way of bringing out the best in us, of reminding us of what's truly important. As the last rays of the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the lake in a soft golden glow, Eli and Maren sat together in peaceful silence, their hearts full of love and contentment. The world beyond the lake cabin seemed a distant memory, and all that mattered was the moment they were in, the simple joy of being together in a place that had come to mean so much to them. Later that evening, as the stars twinkled above and the fire crackled warmly in the hearth, Eli and Maren sat on the porch of the cabin, wrapped in blankets and sipping hot cocoa. The night was still, the only sounds the occasional hoot of an owl and the soft rustling of the trees in the breeze. They talked quietly, reminiscing about the many memories they had created at the lake cabin, each story bringing laughter and warmth to their hearts. As they sat there, side by side, surrounded by the beauty of the wilderness and the love they had built together, Eli and Maren knew that they had found something truly special. The serene lake cabin was more than just a retreat. It was a testament to their love, to the simple joys of life, and to the power of nature to bring peace and happiness to the soul. And so, the cabin by the serene lake continued to be a place of refuge and love, a sanctuary where the beauty of the environment and the warmth of human connection created a haven of peace and joy for all who entered its doors.